What is up, guys? Okay, so it's the fourth week of sophomore year, and what another crazy week. Okay, let me just start by saying we didn't have a HOSA meeting this week, but we had our first pre-farm meeting this week, and as vice president, yeah, vice president, and as vice president, I was able to just make sure it was a great meeting. I mean, I met some students who are really passionate about the field. The energy is amazing. It was just unbelievable. And we did some games and everyone was just so into it. I guess that might have been the highlight of this week. Um, so once again, similar to last week, I had my back-to-back lab quizzes and followed by a test in the lectures. So this week I had a microbiology lab quiz, an organic chemistry test, and microbiology test, not organic chemistry test, microbiology test, and then right after I had what was it? I just had it just a few minutes ago. I had my anatomy lab practical. So this practical consisted of the bones of the human body and cellular tissues, and it was really interesting. One thing, important thing, just gonna leave this note for myself is memorize the handouts your professor gives you. I mean, I didn't think it was that much a big deal. I mean, when I took biology my freshman year, all we did was study slides, study pictures or parts. But my professor this year, she wants you to know the parts, the handouts, and then look for the specific parts on those handouts on the specimen you're observing. Like if you're looking at a bone, and she says look for the olecranon on the ulna. You look for the olecranon. You look at the ulna, and you look at the olecranon. You don't look at little fossas or the little holes that are hollow openings. You follow the handout and try not to stick too much on your anatomy atlas, but just use it as a reference. So I learned about that. A great thing to also take away from reading this week is I was falling behind a lot on my anatomy lecture reading, so I took it upon myself and I studied every night at the library. So if this is a great tip if for those of you who are struggling, or sophomores or in college or any type of college student, if you're struggling keeping up with your professor's readings, which I highly recommend you read the book because it's one of the important reasons you go to college. I mean, you go to college to learn new things, learn new ideas. So I highly recommend that you actually read the book your professor recommends, because you're overall going to be the one who's benefiting. But if you're taking a whole lot of classes, you know, learn to budget your time. That's it. Priorities, budgeting. If you got a test in anatomy and you have some notes or some readings to catch up for another class, you spend majority of your time studying for your anatomy test, and probably just skim through that other reading. So that's just a tip. I mean, I've been trying to teach myself about priorities this week. Hopefully you guys don't make the same mistakes. So for HOSA, we're trying to get our officers together, but it's been pretty tough. But I know we'll get a good group. We have a really good group of freshmen this year, and I feel really hopeful. From them. Also, another thing, exercise. Whether it's just 30 minutes or 1 hour, exercise is extremely important. Always keep your body taken care of. Say you have a class, and then right after class you have an hour break until your lunchtime. Take that hour break, go to the gym, and just work out. You gotta take care of your body. It's like one of the most important things to do if you're whether you're going to medical school or whatever field you're in. Take care of your health. It's very important. Another interesting thing is I'm going to be getting a new roommate soon, so that's soon going to have a person in it, that bed, and I gotta start moving my stuff out because I kind of put my stuff in. My original roommate was